Hey guys, how you doing? This is Ted from Simple Forex Options. As always, it is an honor to be with you guys today. And please give a round of applause and a warming welcome to Simple Forex Options' first trading system / indicator, and that is the Trend Racer. That is the name of it. I just thought that the name was cool, so that's why I chose it. But if you guys are looking at this, of course, you're looking to just have a brief tutorial on how this works, and I'm going to go ahead and give it out for you guys. But one thing I want to say is this thing is a profit beast, man. It's just so beautiful. It's so glorious. And you know, I've been trading for years now, and I have tons of indicators that I use, tons of setups that I use. And as you guys can kind of see my charts, I have several charts open for each pair, but I also have another set of charts on another screen because I have about let me see, I have 4 monitors in total that I use. Not 4, I have 8 monitors in total that I use. So I have another MT4 window open with 4 charts each for each one of these pairs that you see right here. And there's 2 charts on these. There's 2 charts on this one. So I have a lot of windows and stuff open, and I use a lot of indicators. But man, the creation of this, it took me a good amount of time to make it. But the creation of this thing, man, it's just so beautiful. It's such a beast. And it gives you the this is a legitimate trend trader. And most trend traders, they'll get you in like super late on the trend, as you guys can see just from the 2 examples here. And these are live charts that we're looking at, so it's not like we're looking at something from the past. But as you guys can see right here, these things get you in almost at the beginning of the trend. Look over here, and then also look over here too as well. You're getting in almost at the very beginning of the trend, so they're beautiful, works flawlessly. It's not, of course, no indicator or no trading system is perfect, but this thing is more than capable of doing all of the dirty work for you so that you guys don't have to do it. So let's just go by its capabilities. It does have stop losses, has take profit recommendations, stop loss recommendations, also has buy and sell signals, and it has buy and sell confirmation. So if you guys look up here, this is a sell signal right here. As this red arrow, that's what you get. That's a sell signal. And this line right here is a sell confirmation line. And what it means is you really only want to trade the arrow when the line is orange, or if the line comes up to be orange afterwards. You want to use that line as a form of confirmation that, okay, this is legitimately a downtrend, or it's showing signs of being a downtrend. So that's why the arrow is here as a form to, the confirmation orange line is here as a form of confirmation for this arrow right here. As you guys can see, it does have 2 red X's, which is a stop loss recommendation, and then another stop loss recommendation. Of course, I wouldn't take those because those are not really strong signs of the market. You need to take a stop loss. The strongest sign is when you see the other color, or if you see the other indication come up. So as you see down here, this blue arrow down here, and these are daily charts. So these are not even like just hours, or these are daily charts. So mind you, the amount of profit that this thing would have gotten over if you would have kept the signal in for about a whole month or a month and a half, that would have just been buku profit, But as you guys can see right here, this right here is a very strong confirmation of a stop loss or a take profit on the sell signal. So that's when the confirmation line either changes colors, or the confirmation arrow, which is the blue arrow, actually pops up to confirm the uptrend. So that's what you always want to be looking for. As you guys can see, the check marks down here, this is just a sign or a consideration of taking profit. So you'll always almost always see the check mark come up after that a place has reached a certain amount of profit. And it's really just dependent on certain algorithms and certain numbers and things that I've set in place. But you'll see that red arrow. And if the check does pop up and it's outside of, like, it's not like in profit, that means it's probably, referring to a profit from maybe another signal or anything like that that was a little bit further back. But there is take profit considerations. It doesn't mean that the market has reached its bottom, most lowest capacity. But what it does mean is that the market has reached a place to where it's considering to reverse or to turn around. And as you guys can see, this take profit consideration was struck right here. The markets, of course, went down a little bit, but a couple of days later, that's when the uptrend began to take place. So if you had waited to this blue arrow in order to take your profit, you would have technically still had the same amount of profit if you had took it a week earlier or a couple of days earlier with the red check. And that's just a take profit consideration. As you guys can see, the red line is resistance. It's a moving and malleable resistance. So it's not like one of those resistances that's just strong and firm, and more so moves with the markets. And it's just really there to denote critical areas. And when I say critical areas, it doesn't mean that it's extremely strong, that the markets are just going to bounce off of this area. But what it does mean is that if you do see a signal that corresponds with the color of the support, then that's a pretty strong confirmation for you. Like, for example, if you look up here at the beginning of the chart, the markets bounce off of this red resistance over here, and it gave a little bounce down, and then you see an arrow. That's a nice strong confirmation when you see a bounce off of the resistance and then you see an arrow coming after that resistance. It's a strong confirmation of reversal trend. So that's really the way that these are supposed to be used. And as you guys can see down here too as well, the markets bounced off of this support down here, finally gave it some room and some space because it was hugging it for a while, but it finally gave it some room and gave it some space. And as you guys can see right here, it bounced off, and shortly after it showed buy arrow for the beginning of an uptrend. That's another pretty strong confirmation. Now, the way that you should use this is, in my honest opinion, is supposed to be used as an aid. But I mean, to be honest with you, this can be used straight raw by itself. It's such a beautiful indicator, and it just took me so much time in fine tuning to actually create it, because I had different algorithms and different setups and different indicators in place. But me and my wife, it was a funny story. Me and my wife, we went out on a drive, and she was like, take a brain break. You've been working up there for a while. Just take a brain break. And I wanted to get it done. But, she said, just take a brain break. And while I was out, there's so many great ideas that came into my mind to actually add on to this indicator. So this is like another version of what I initially had in mind. It's just so beautiful. And of course, it's straight from me, straight from my trading experience over the past couple of years. And also, it's a very, very good idea of what my charts feel like, so for those who are looking to trade it, this is a very short, brief tutorial on just how to use it. And of course, you want to read in the direction, because I have extra confirmations and things that you need to be aware of, or that you need to kind of keep in mind when you're trading, so that you can have a list of rules that you can actually follow by. And it actually does give you alerts. So that's something to be mindful of too as well, so you don't have to worry about not knowing what's going on. So here's another signal right here. As you guys can see, this was a sell, and this ends up, of course, getting in profit, although it shows some choppiness, but it still got some really good amount of profit, because these are daily charts, and the take profit confirmation was down here. These things are set in stone when a candle actually closes, so I want to mention that. So you want to make sure that the candle closes first before you jump on and make it some kind of decision or whatever it may be. So as you guys can see right here, this was another dip down, and this is another strong confirmation that I mentioned in the rules. If you guys read it, if you look right here, this confirmation shows a buy, and then there's a sell signal, and then there's another buy. So if you had took this buy right here, of course, you would have maybe gotten out or considered getting out. If you did get out once you saw that sell signal and once you saw the confirmation line change, then that means you would have been on the sell, and then you would have probably gotten out of that once you saw the confirmation line change again too as well into a buy. But that's perfectly fine, because you're taking really small stop losses in between that short span or that short span of time. So it doesn't really matter much as long as you get in on an overall trend that's about to happen. As you guys can see right here, this blue arrow catches the trend almost immediately. It bounces off of this support. And that's one thing I wanted to mention before. Sales are much stronger when they are fresh off of these resistance lines, and buys are much stronger when they are fresh off of these resistance lines too as well. So that's another rule that I mentioned in the confirmation that you guys need to be aware of. So as you guys can see right here, this is a buy signal, has the confirmation line, and bam, look how long this has been going up and how strong this trend has been. As you guys can see right here, there is a check mark, and that's just a take profit recommendation, but you don't have to take profit there. I mean, you could have left it in for you know, a whole nother week or another week and a half, and you would have gotten way more profit. So it's not saying that it's set in stone and you have to take profit at that moment. It's just a consideration or a recommendation. As you guys can see right here, there is a check mark, which is a take profit either for this red signal, or it's a stop loss. That's either a stop loss for this red signal or this red signal over here. But one of the strong confirmations that I mentioned in the rules, as you guys can see above or see in the description under the indicator, is that this right here and this right here is called the straddle. And if you see one buy signal and then it completely changes to a sell, and you see a sell signal and it completely changes to a buy, this buy signal is a strong confirmation of an uptrend, especially if it bounces off of this support line and it begins to go up. This is a strong confirmation of a legitimate uptrend that's about to take place, and you could be able to gain so much more profits from that. So that's something to keep in mind too when you're assessing that too as well with your pair. As you guys can see, these flat lines that you guys see right here, these are moving support and resistances. You know, both of them blue, so it really doesn't matter. It's not that big of a deal. But these are moving support and resistance areas, and it's only just calculating over the past 25 bars, over the past 25 bars of, like, you know, critical areas. You know, so that's just something to keep in mind too. Those are not like super strong to where the price is going to bounce over those two as well. They do move and they are malleable. It's just really just there to give an idea or a confirmation. But this thing is called Trend Racer for a reason, because it is literally meant to get in on a trend as early as possible and ride that trend to its most maximum capacity. So I assure you that this is a powerful indicator. Use it with the right pairs, because you want to use it with trending pairs. You don't want to use this indicator with pairs that are slow moving or range. Well, it doesn't matter if they're slow moving, but you don't want to use it with ranging pairs or extremely volatile pairs, mainly because you don't want a whole bunch of, you know, false alerts or false trends to actually be taking place. So I suggest looking up online to see what kind of pairs is, you know, trending pairs or smooth moving pairs, and try to stick along lines with those kind of pairs. So I know that the All JPY, the Euro All, the GBP CHF, the CAD JPY, the USD CAD, the USD JPY, and a couple other pairs too. But I noticed for a fact that those pairs are very smooth moving, very trendy type pairs. And once they get on a trend, a real trend, it takes a while for them to get off and then stop. So thank you guys for watching. Also, thank you guys for getting the indicator. I really hope that you guys enjoy. If you really like the indicator and you would recommend it to other people, go ahead and just give a good review or give a good comment. If you guys have any questions, leave a comment or leave a review, and I should be able to try to take care of that for you too as well. So thank you guys for tuning in to Simple Forex Options. Hope that you guys enjoy it, and I also hope that you guys get the most maximum profit from this. Thank you, and deuces.